You know, I made a video a while ago, about a month ago, talking about how and why I left the Democrat plantation. And boy, I'm loving the awakening that America is having despite Joe Biden actually running the free world right now.
It was just weird. It was weird that Trump, like, just, I don't know, triggered me. And then here I am today. I'm backing him up. I'm freaking, like, backing him up as if he's my own father or family or something, you know? Because I'm seeing what he's doing, you know? I'm seeing what he's doing on the ground. He's not only just talk, he's all about action, you know? And I like that. I like that he does what he says he's going to do. I can really appreciate that. Yeah, he is real, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. He has no cut cards. He tells you straight out it is. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. It is what it is. You see, you literally get what you see, and I appreciate that. And I support him. 2020. I mean, if he could 2024, I'll do 2024. If anybody else, but right now I'm happy with him. I don't agree with everything, but the majority of it I agree with it. This immigration thing, if anything, that makes him the opposite of racist, if you ask me.
He's putting his country first. If it was Mexico doing it, nobody would say a thing. They'll be like, okay, that's
the problem. I'm so sick of people blaming America.
And it's like the child trafficking is very serious. Almost like I think 600,000 kids go missing a year. It's super serious, and they go across the board.
Obviously, this is a clip from the 2020 presidential election race, but it's still as relevant today because it speaks volumes to the people having this great awakening, the American people. Because once, man, I was somebody who hated Trump, hated that man with all of my, every fiber of my being, did not like him. Why though? It was simply because I was told not to like him. I was told that based on my skin color, you know, I'm not supposed to like him. He don't like me. He's not for my people. He's racist. He's all these different things. And then you start to actually go do some research yourself and you realize like, oh, whoa, hold up. I remember when he used to talk about immigration, and I used to be one of those very liberal leftist people. You know what? People just trying to come up, they're trying to flee oppression and come here and have a better life. Why would he want to stop? Like, that was me all day. But look at us now. Look at us now, man. We got people now leaving the Democratic Party. Not only this person that we just watched, but we have somebody realizing the disgusting behavior of the Democratic Party is something that they can't be a part of anymore.
I used to be a radical feminist / liberal, and to this day, it's been the most embarrassing phase of my life. Like, it still makes me cringe. And people always ask me, hey, Chelly, what made you walk away from the Democratic Party / liberalism? And it wasn't one big, like, wake-up call for me. It was a process. It started when I first started paying taxes. I remember working 60 to 70-hour weeks only to get 30 to 40% of my paycheck cut from me. Realistically speaking, that's out of those 60 hours, I worked 20 of those for somebody else. And then my hate for Democrats got a lot worse when I started looking into government spending and I realized how they spent our money. For example, did you know that over the last 5 years, California has spent over $20 billion on the homeless crisis? Now, if you live in LA, you're wondering, hey, where did that money go? Because it's only gotten worse, right? It hasn't gotten any better. When you ask the government, they can't tell you how those $20 billion were spent. They don't know where they went. They can't even tell you if those $20 billion were effective because they're incapable of balancing a budget. Instead of reining in their spending, do you know what they're doing? They're increasing taxes on the average American, meaning that more of the hours you work aren't going to be for you or your family. They're going to be for someone else. And you know who's getting screwed the most? Middle-class, hard-working Americans. And that's the tip of the iceberg. That's just a financial side. And it does get worse. When it comes to what Democrats, how they're trying to groom children in schools, it's disturbing. It doesn't matter to me if you're gay, straight, or a fucking unicorn. I don't think the government should be involved in your everyday life or who you're attracted to at all. But there's absolutely no reason why the government should be trying to force sexuality into the curriculum and exposing young children and minors to sexuality at such a young age when it can actually harm their development. There's absolutely no reason that the government and the school system should be transitioning a young minor, encouraging them to get surgeries, encouraging to get medical treatments that they can't take back without the consent or knowledge from the parents. Actually, they help hide this from the parents. When I was a kid, when an adult said, hey, don't tell your parents, that was a giant red flag. Why are we just glossing it over now and acting like all of this is okay? California every day tries to pass more laws to try and take away parental rights from their children. And don't take this as me saying, hey, go be a Republican. I'm saying, hey, go vote for what you believe in, because I don't believe in anything that the Democratic Party stands for anymore. It's wrong. It's disturbing on so many levels.
That's a lot of money, bro. And I was in California, what was it? I want to say like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, something like that. In the last 2 years. And I will say that I went to Los Angeles specifically, and I was really like surprised by the crisis that they were, up against. But again, man, you have so many people waking up in midst of this Democratic Party. That's why I tell y'all, man, Biden was the best/worst thing that could have happened to America. I appreciate him for being himself a liar, a crook, and allowing us, the American people, to just go, hey, we can't even you so crooked, we can't even let this slide. I'm appreciative of that. I'm not appreciative of the suffering we got to go through to learn this hard lesson, but tell you what, we won't do it again. And I absolutely love Queen Beanie. She's always over the target and so informative. If you are following her on if you are not following her on TikTok, you should be. Once again, the Democratic Party comes out and lies about Trump, constantly fear-mongering. So we're gonna watch this video.
You know, buddy, it's always, God, it's like one of you guys consistently in my comment section with the typical fear-mongering. Here's the thing, buddy. I have read Project 2025 a very long time ago. You know, back when it was written in 2022. You want to know what the issue is, buddy? Is that you are listening to the mainstream media and the typical gaslighting and fear-mongering on social media that, oh my God, if Donald Trump gets elected, Project 2025 is going to happen and the world's going to go away. Run, everyone be afraid. I don't log into the fear-mongering and the gaslighting that your side of the aisle typically loves to do about Project 2025. Project 2025 being a group think tank by the Heritage Foundation that was written by a bunch of people who felt that this was the way that they would like to see the Republican Party go if and when these people were the ones that were going to be making the rules in this country. And guess what? They're not. And Donald Trump was already in power. And did Project 2025 happen? No. Did the world burn? No. Did it become the Handmaid's Tale? No. This is what you guys do, though. The left-wing media likes to bring this back up after it was written years ago as some new thing. And people like you, well, you jump on board and you're like, oh my God, everyone be afraid. No. I don't fall for that shit, okay? I understand everything that's happening in this world when it comes to politics. And what I don't do is log on to the bullshit fear-mongering and the gaslighting that your side perpetually loves to do every day to try to scare people into voting the way that you want them to vote. Because that's all this is. It's you trying to strong-arm people to vote the way that you want. Here's the thing, buddy, and let me make it really, really clear to you so you understand and comprehend this. Project 2025 was a group think tank that people wrote some things that they would like to see. Donald Trump had nothing to do with it. It doesn't mean it's going to be a law. It was never meant to be into law. It was never meant to be written into law. And just so you know, Democrats get together in their Democrat sub-communities and they write these kind of things that they would like to see with their party go to. Doesn't mean that it's going to go into law. Doesn't mean that it is law. Okay? But you guys consistently love to gaslight people and try to create this fear that it's going to come this totalitarian regime and oh my God, Project 2025. It doesn't do shit to me, okay? I have read Project 2025 more than once, and that's all that it is. It's the typical fear-mongering bullshit that you guys just love to jump onto. I don't, okay? I don't log on to that shit. If you want to run around in a perpetual state of being a victim, you go right ahead. But what I'm going to give a shit about is what I see right in front of me as factual information. Just because a group of people got together and wrote this whole page doesn't mean that any of it's going to come to fruition, okay? Especially because it was written in 2022. And if it was really going to be written into fruition, it was really going to happen, wouldn't it have happened under Donald Trump's first term? I mean, I would think so, but I mean, hey, you guys just love this perpetual state of being a victim, and I don't. I'm sorry. What I see right now is that our border's been decimated by 16 plus million growing every single day. And those people coming across are not the best of people, just like Trump said. And all you got to do is look up all the crime that has been happening by people that have come across the border since Joe Biden's been put into office. I care more about the fact that Americans can't afford housing, rent, can't find jobs, losing houses, can't afford groceries, can't afford gas. I care more about the fact that our female athletes have been fighting all the way to Capitol Hill to create their women's spaces to be for women only. I care about that kind of stuff, stuff that's actually happening. I don't want to log on to the constant fear-mongering that your side does. Oh, you're losing your rights. I'm going to be 50 years old this year and I have lost 0 rights. 0. So all this gaslighting and fear-mongering that you guys love to do, I'm going to tell you what, you stay in that side of that bubble where you're constantly like, be afraid, everyone be afraid, oh my God, the world's ending, No, it's not me. I don't live like that. I'm a small business owner in America that is taxed to fucking death. And I'm sick and tired of politicians getting up there with their fucking lip service telling you, vote for me and I'm going to change Roe v. Wade. They've got over 50 years to codify Roe and make it into a law. Did they do it? Nope, sure didn't. If Joe Biden cared so much about Roe v. Wade, he's had the last 4 years to do something about it. Did he? Nope, sure didn't. It's the typical thing that you guys love. You will sit up there and you will listen to these politicians who lie to your face, and you will run to the polls and vote for them, knowing full well that they don't give a shit about you. They live up on the hill in their 5 mansions, and they just wait for people like you that don't do your own homework and don't do your own research to jump to the polls and vote for them because Joe Biden told you that he cared about you. Well, guess what? He doesn't. He never has. He cared about his own political gain, and he cares about his own money. And they sit up on the hill getting richer and richer and richer, and all they got to do is lie and gaslight people like you, and you're like, yay, Biden's my hero. It doesn't work on me, okay? It doesn't work on me. So you can sit in my comment section and be like, oh my God, be afraid, Project 2025. It doesn't work on me. Okay, I'm somewhat of a person that's got some common sense, and you may not like the way that I as far as my political alignment goes, and I don't really care because I don't get up every single day and go, I wonder what I should talk about to make Wayne here happy, because I don't give a shit, Wayne. Okay, once the Democrats talk about women power and women's rights, but yet they completely reworded Title IX so that men can now compete in women's spaces and go in women's spaces, and you know what, Wayne? That's not okay with women. Like me, you know, a real woman. It's not okay with me. And the fact that our female athletes are still having to fight this year, this many years later, for their actual rights, while Democrats gaslight the shit out of people like you going, we care about women's rights. No, they don't. Because if they gave a fuck about women's rights, they wouldn't have changed Title IX to allow men in our spaces. But people like you just sit back and keep letting these politicians gaslight you, because I'm done with it. And I'm sick and tired of politicians. I'm sick and tired of the corporate establishment, swamp-ass politicians that lie to your face and then fill their own pockets on the backside and then make sure their lobbyists are paid on the backside too. And then get to go do some insider trading, going into jobs, making $150,000 a year and coming out fucking millionaires. But somehow these people are your fucking saviors. That's on you, Wayne. That's not on me. I'm good. I'm going to be voting for Trump 2024. And if that upsets your fragile feelings, Pumpkin, well, that's what it does. Good talk, buddy.
Now, look, I don't know who Wayne is, but dog just got cooked, bro. Like, oh my gosh. He just got deep fried. I mean, ouch, Wayne. I bet you Wayne ain't gonna be commenting on the hutch no more. I tell you what though, Trump don't even need to show up to the Biden debate, you know, the CNN debate. You just send her, cause she just ethered that man, dog. I like how she put it all in common sense terms as well. Hey, you guys, they want to talk about women's rights, this, that, and the third. The Democrats, that is, always want to bring up women's rights, but these are the same people who are letting men perform in women's spaces. Wow. Yeah, y'all see how they do, y'all? Oh man, Trump 2024.